Woo-wee, that episode did not disappoint. It's been so damn long since Conor won a fight. That dude ain't know how to act. But coming up, for the first time all season, we'll talk to Coach Michael Chandler about taking the L. Also, for the first time, a fighter from Team McGregor will join us. Hear from the man who captain saved his entire squad, Rico DeShulo. You do not want to miss this episode, so stay where you're at, because After TUF starts right now. Welcome to After TUF. I'm Dean Thomas, and what a show that was. Rico DeShulo delivered. He put his team on his back, said, yo, get on, y'all, I got you. He put Boston on his back, said, yo, I got you. He delivered. He handled his business. There's a lot we still don't know, though. Hell, there's a lot that the coaches don't know. But here's an extended clip of what you didn't see when Conor and Michael met with Dana to discuss what the hell they are going to do.
Will we be doing any, like a reshuffle? Will I be taking some of these? Like, what way is the training setup going to be? I know the fight's at this Tuesday, it's not that long. Are we keeping with the same setup and just, I have one guy in the mix and I just stay as it is and focus on him? It's his camp now. This is Rico's camp in our side. Or am I taking on a lightweight, or what way are you?
We're going to work all that out. We're going to get all that worked out. We'll let you guys know that soon. I just wanted, you're the guys that see these guys every day and work with them. I just love to hear what your take is on this stuff, and I know you're in a bad position.
Yeah. I like Lee. You'd be surprised at Kurt as well.
Lee?
Like, I mean, I thought obviously he lost, but he was doing very well against Kurt.
Lee's great, man. Lee was good.
You think Kurt, the other guys, are you swayed in your decision of who's the better lightweight due to the performances on the night or the training practice, or what is it?
Truthfully,
because people, you might think, and everyone will think, because Kurt was getting beat there, and then he got the submission, people might underestimate him. John actually thought Kurt was one of the better lightweights in the thing, and actually picked him to win.
No, Kurt. I mean, they're all talented.
Yeah, so I'm just upset that my guy's not in it now. It would have been nice to just keep it going.
Yeah, one of the guys did say that Kurt was the best guy here too.
So one of the guys thought Kurt was the best?
One of them said they thought Kurt.
Yeah, you know when someone has a performance that's not. Lee's a good quality fighter, and he was getting the bet from, but the guy got the win. But
he's big, he's long, talented. So I mean, he was
underestimating then, thinking the man's not up to scratch.
Conor is a true soldier. You gotta love a dude that's ride or die. Knowing his boy Lee Hammond lost, he couldn't let it go. I mean, Lee Hammond ain't had nothing to do with that conversation. But I think it was Conor's way to subconsciously plant Lee back into the tournament because he might have been the better fighter than Kurt. He probably was. But I'm sorry, Conor, he got caught, and it doesn't work that way. Since there's finally a win in the column for Conor, let's take a look at the coach's scoreboard. After 8 weeks, there is now a small beacon of light at the end of the tunnel for Team McGregor with that win for his bantamweight, Rico DeShulo. But Team Chandler is still way ahead, going 4-0 in the lightweight division. And with that, we welcome in the coach, Iron Michael Chandler, my favorite part of the week. Talking to my man, Mike, what's happening?
Man, living the dream, man. Just another week, another awesome episode. Obviously, this one was a little bit different than the last 7, but it was great anyway.
I mean, you were so close to giving the people what they want, to almost a clean sweep of Team McGregor. Now, how are you taking the loss after this one?
Obviously, we're a couple months removed, but man, there were some tears shed by myself, Hunter, obviously, and our entire team. You saw it in the episode. Obviously, I'm sure we'll talk about it. My guys getting into it with Conor. We created a really real team bond. All of my dudes loved each other. They wanted to see each other win. So it was a tough one. It was tough to see Hunter, who I believe deserved to win. He did everything that was asked of him, but as you know, as I know, it's a crazy sport. We fight in 4-ounce gloves, and you get hit behind the ear, and bad things happen.
But, I mean, that fight was going perfectly. It was literally one round away from total domination for you. Did it ever occur to you that might happen?
Man, not really. Obviously we had some tougher fights throughout the season than Hunter's first round of that fight. I mean, he was completely in the driver's seat. He looked like Rico couldn't do anything on the ground. Rico hit him with some elbows, obviously cut him open. But when it comes to the domination on the ground, ring generalship, damage on the ground, Hunter was just honestly beating him up pretty bad. So there was no indication whatsoever that round 2 was going to be any different than round 1. But as we like to say in this sport, it really brings you back to the reality. Even with us being so used to the guys in red getting their hand raised, I thought we were about to do it again. But man, lo and behold, 4-ounce glove are very unforgiving, and Hunter went down. And my hat's off to him, and my hat's off to Rico for his performance and getting the job done.
Well, congratulations to Rico and Conor. He finally got that win. But we just got word that Conor McGregor is celebrating his only win. We have the footage of this, Mike. You got to see it.
Yeah! Boston courage! Boston courage! Boston strong!
The dude was running.
Yeah, listen, he got a little darker from what I remember. I want to see his car collection, though, because, that I don't know if that was the Lambo that I was used to seeing him in. I'd like to see his car collection.
It was similar. I'm pretty sure that was the same Lambo that we saw there in Vegas in the episode. And that was the same exact run with the screaming, yelling Boston strong and Boston courage. Obviously he's pumped up for his team. As I've said, I think as much as they tried to piece this thing up as if Conor didn't care that much, Conor was there. He wanted to see his guys win, whether it was because he wanted to get a win or it was because he was truly happy for Rico to get a win. It remains to be seen, or we'll never know, I guess. But, man, what a celebration. And then the dude tried to fight my entire team, so it was a lot of fun.
Well, he's a wild boy. We know that. But let's take a quick question from the fan. This one is from Sean Gregory02. They want to know if you think the concept of the prospects versus the veterans was wrong, or is there more to it?
Man, it's a great question, and I'm glad you bring that up, because obviously here we are sitting at 7-1. The veterans absolutely dominated. But what I like to say is, at the very beginning of the show, I can tell you that all of my guys, even if they said they knew they wanted to get back to the UFC, there was still an inkling of doubt in every single one of them. Cody Gibson is a high school PE teacher. Kurt Hollabaugh has opened 2 BJJ gyms. You saw Austin Hubbard works for his father-in-law at a home restoration company. These guys have been in and out of smaller organizations, maybe getting themselves back to the UFC, but half of my team had full-time jobs, and it looked as though maybe the UFC dream had passed. So yes, now we can sit here and say, hey, 7-1, of course the veterans with their veteran experience were going to dominate these newbies, these rookies, these youngins, these prospects. And we like to put labels on people, but half of those prospects were seasoned veterans. They just hadn't been in the UFC yet. Every single one of them great. Every single one of them have talent to be inside of the UFC. But here we are, 7-1, almost got the clean sweep. But I do think it was a good, show theme, if you will, because some of these prospects could have came in and won, and some of these veterans could have very well believed that they weren't going to beat one of these young, hungry prospects. But lo and behold, Team Chandler 7-1.
I'll tell you what, that is remarkable. 7 of your 8 guys made it to the semifinals. But how hard was it choosing the best amongst your guys who won all their fights to choose them moving forward?
Man, that's actually a good question, too, because if you see in there, and I actually just got a clip of some bonus footage, and I actually just did my TUF reaction show and kind of gave the fans an insight to, hey, am I actually going to be truthful here, or am I going to lie to Dana? Because Dana's trying to figure out, hey, who's the best matchup here, or who's going to be the best fight here? Who's your most talented guys? And I wasn't quite sure what answer to give him because I didn't know. I knew what matchups we probably wanted. But do you lie to Dana so that you get the actual matchup that you truly wanted? So it was an interesting meeting between Conor, myself, Dana, a little bit of gamesmanship there. I think Conor said that Timur was the weakest guy on our team, which I thought that Timur was one of the best guys on our team. Maybe there was some gamesmanship there. Who knows? But it was tough. But obviously, we know Austin Hubbard and Roosevelt Roberts, two of the most talented guys on my team, fight next week. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and that could very easily be your final. And I think that's what I said there on the show. But obviously, Dana put the fights together, and here we are.
But this episode also hinted at the possibility that some of your guys may have to switch teams. Now, like you said, Roosevelt and Austin, they are fighting next week. They stayed on your team. But without giving away too much, I don't know what you can tell us about them switching teams. Was that something that was going around, or what's the deal, Mike? Give me some insight.
I'll tell you what, man. It was a thing. It was a full-on thing. I'll tell you that. Hey, just like those guys woke up that one morning or came back from practice and they saw those names on the board, some guys who were supposed to be in red were now in blue, and obviously you heard, I forget who said it, but they said, hey, man, Jason Knight said, hey, I'll just leave this place right now if they want me to switch teams. That's the kind of team camaraderie and the team bond that we had. My dudes started on Team Chandler, wanted to stay on Team Chandler. So it gets a little dicey this weekend, or this week. I think we're going to kind of dive more into, does Dana force these guys to go to a different team? And can I save guys from going on another team? Can I convince these guys to stay on Team Chandler? We built this bond. I believe that I was going to be able to coach them into the best performance on fight night. But it's a reality show. It's television. It's ESPN. Some things are out of our control. I'm calling the executive producer. I'm calling Dana. I'm texting Dana. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? You guys need to tell me what's going on. So it gets a little dicey and a little, I guess the next episode is a little high-strung too, to say the least. So either way, it happened how it happened, but the fans at home here on ESPN get to be the beneficiaries of it because it was a great episode and great turn of events.
How many times did somebody from the other team ask to be on your team during the season?
Man, well, unfortunately, obviously, the guys weren't going to break their loyalty to Team McGregor by even talking to me. But later on, after some of these guys got eliminated and they we're no longer a threat on the other team, there was definitely some guys who were getting a little closer to me and asking me questions. Just as a veteran, as a guy who's been at the top of the sport for a very long time, I try to be personal. Yeah. These guys are wearing blue and they got McGregor on their back, but they're still just dudes chasing a dream. And I was there to serve everybody, obviously my team first and foremost, but everybody as well. And they definitely wanted to jump in a couple Team Chandler training sessions just to spend some time with me, spend some time with my guys, because like I said, they were no longer a threat. And it gets lonely and boring out there in Vegas for 4 weeks. These guys are stuck in a house, straight to training, stuck in a house, straight to training. So I think a switch up would have been a nice thing for them. But, I made some my guys on my team were friends for life. They are my dudes for life. And obviously I made some friends on the other team as well. I've been talking to them as well online or via text message because ultimately these guys were just chasing a dream, even if they were on the other team.
Well, you guys almost went undefeated, but I'm going to tell you who is undefeated, and that is the internet. So before we go, let's look at the internet here. You put this out today, huh?
I did. Hey, the internet remains undefeated, and Conor can no longer be defeated if he keeps running. We're trying to figure out when this dude's coming back. I got my TV on right here, Netflix, McGregor forever. He's calling it the greatest comeback, or greatest comeback in combat sports history. But he can't have the greatest comeback in combat sports history if he doesn't actually come back. Is he duping everybody? Is he duping me? Is he duping you that he just did this thing for publicity? Is he coming back? We don't know. We're still waiting, and I'm still waiting because I'm ready to fight this dude and separate him from consciousness within the first 2 rounds on a very, very big fight night, and that's my prediction.
Well, Mike, once again, like I said, this is the highlight of my week. I appreciate you coming on. The season is heating up. I can't wait till next week, man. I can't wait to talk to you again next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate you. See you at the top.
All right, so far this season, we've showed you all kind of bonus clips. But one you haven't seen is one of the most important aspects of preparing for an opponent, and that's watching film. Here's some never-before-seen footage of Coach Chandler and Hunter breaking down some tape on Rico.
You should be confident keeping those hands up and just putting that pressure on him, going straight down the pipe.
Yeah, down the pipe.
Yeah, I mean, not to ever,
too.
Yeah, not to ever underestimate punches. We're all 4-ounce goes, but man, he ain't got a lot of power in those punches, man. And
he leaves that chin up a lot.
Leaves the chin up big time. So
throwing on
like
those breaks.
Yeah. So when we get you back on the mats too, the like boom, 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 moving forward. Like today we went 2, 3, 2, stepping with each one of them, covering distance, because he can get out of the way of the first one, but then his chin is up for that second and third, And then that shot's always going to be there, man. And body-wise, man, like you look like you're just going to be able to freaking muscle.
That's how I've been watching his body at the house. I'm like, man, I think the neck's going to be there.
Yeah, just staying in the moment, and not rush. You don't have to rush anything,
He's not used to wrestling. There's wear on him on that cage.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, man.
And those punches are going to slow down even more.
And those couple cues that we got with the hand control, underhook, covering the hips, head underneath the chin, those little moments where, like we were yelling yesterday, like the ownness is on the other guy. Just like when you're on bottom in wrestling, like I'm on top of you, you can't look at the ref and go, what are we doing, ref? It's like, make him work. Let him, give him an inch, let him move a little bit, and then get right back in there. Get right back in there, punch. We did a really good job yesterday.
He walks a lot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean,
using my feints.
Yeah, man. Dude, just you're solid. You're solid here, man. Don't need to force anything. Be fast. Be powerful. Hands up. You're better than him in every single one of these positions.
I agree.
Strong.
Just got to be smart and patient.
Right here. His arms out here too, man. Dude, straight down the middle. Straight down the middle.
He leaves
punches
him
straight down the middle. Even that freaking front kick straight up the middle.
Man, I was at your fight when you killed Tony. I thought I saw the first person dead in there.
I know. Well, that's what I saw too. I mean, his hands were out here, and he kept doing this, and there was a lane right up the middle. So you can, especially with your wrestling too, little pressure, fake uppercut, fake straight, fake hook.
And I'm not afraid to kick. So I'm confident getting back up too.
Yeah.
So and I don't think he's going to take me down.
Mm-hmm.
What a great moment between athlete and coach. Mike did a fantastic job of telling the athlete what he needed to hear to instill confidence in himself. But leading up to any fight, all fighters start to doubt themselves. But Mike did a good job from a technical perspective to tell Hunter what he needed to do in order to exploit the weaknesses of Rico. And he did a good job of reminding who Hunter is. The problem was, somewhere between that first and second round, Hunter straight up forgot. Well, watching film on your opponent is one thing, but executing the game plan during the fight is a whole nother story. I don't know if Rico's game plan was to get beat up in the first round just so he could come back in the second and shock the world, but that is exactly what Rico did.
Yes! There you go. Yeah, backhand Rico. Yeah, beautiful shot.
Great leg kick.
Fight's over. Fight's over.
Yeah!
Sit in, chair.
Holy that was a great fight, man.
Hunter was a little bit more hesitant than maybe he should have been.
Bam! He connects with a monster overhand right, drops Hunter, and the ref calls the fight.
Oh, yes! Winner in advancing, Rico Desculio.
Congratulations.
Ooh, that was a nasty finish. But let's welcome in the man who single-handedly saved Team McGregor. Rico, don't count him out, Deschulo. Rico, man, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm actually at the gym right now, just hanging out and having an interview with you guys.
Oh, well, I love it. So let's talk about the mindset after that first round. I mean, you had some good shots, but ultimately, I mean, he was getting the better of you. Let's keep it real. What was the mindset like coming back into the second round for you?
Well, realistically, coming into that second round, like the biggest thing is, stuffing takedowns, really. Like keeping it away from the cage. Once I can keep the fight where I need it to be, which was standing with him, because I could feel the presence. Like, it's different. Like, people don't understand it. It's hard to see when you're in a fight, but, I've been in a lot of fights, and you can tell the difference of people wanting to be in a pocket with you or having a certain amount of control or feeling comfortable in certain positions. And with the striking or even just movement standing up, I already knew I was getting in positions where I could potentially finish. I just had to keep it there long enough to make it happen. And, a big thing was staying off the cage, being smart against the cage with, defending and, just keeping it in my realm where if I can keep it in the middle of the center of the the octagon, I'm gonna probably find that finish eventually. I just didn't have a lot of time, so I had to make it happen.
Rico, I remember watching you as a young lad at the Rise of a Warrior down in Fort Pierce. Did you ever think that we'd be here? Did you think this would be a thing, Rico?
I did. I mean, I'm sure you kind of did too a little bit. You had some good things to say about some of my fights, with footwork and body shots that I was doing against a real big hard-nosed wrestler. And you pointed out a lot of things that kind of made me realize how to approach wrestlers like that. And it's been a lot of my career of fighting like solid quality wrestlers. So like it's one of those things. I just got to not get too hyped up for the knockout and put myself out of position. I'm the type of guy that will take risks for the reward, but it has to be, it has to be worth it, So, I just try to do my thing and always searching for a finish, always.
Okay, speaking of risk and reward, on a scale of 1 to, let's say, scared shitless, how nervous were you driving Conor's Lambo?
Oh man, I wasn't nervous. He definitely was though. Pulling out, maybe I was nervous, but I told him, I was like, yo, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna hit this thing. He's like, yeah, go for it. I don't think he believed me, and I freaking floored it, man. And he was wilding out. He was screaming. It was a good time. It was cool.
All right, now let's talk about that team and some of the morale going with the team. There was 8 of you guys on the team. 7 of them lost. You won. What was it like being the only winner on the team? I mean, did you make them guys feed you grapes, or how was it back at the house? I would have had them carry me around, but I don't know what you did.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was cool. It was weird because, right off the rip, we were really, it was tough, man, and it was really hard to see some of these guys, I missed a fight or two because, you're in the back and you get warming up, but the fights that I saw, man, were for, the fight with Lee, oh, man, dude, that one, after watching that, it kind of drives you crazy because, he was dominating the whole fight, you know what I mean, really controlling the whole fight, and against a, high-level black belt, and he was really, kind of, doing whatever he really wanted to with Kurt, you know what I mean? It was really impressive, and Kurt's solid on the ground, so it was just like, wow, man. And then one mistake, that's all it takes, one mistake, and, he lost. So that's just the name of the game at this level. One little mistake costs you know what I mean? So you got to really be, 110%, prepared to, do everything you can to win, but obviously not make the littlest mistake, because that little mistake costs you the fight.
All right, now we did a little digging, and we found this picture of you rocking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fit. So we got to ask, if you could be any Ninja Turtle, which one would it be and why?
Man, I don't know which one I'd be. I'd probably, I don't know, maybe Michelangelo because he just eats pizza and has fun. But I don't know. A lot of people would say I would be Raphael, which kind of makes sense. But I don't know.
I hear you. Now, you say you train at Eddie Alvarez Boxing Gym in Massachusetts. Now, he's no stranger to the Ultimate Fighter. He's coached season 26. Were you able to pick the Underground King's brain about being on the show?
I'm training out of Eddie Alvarez Boxer. I couldn't hear what you said.
You trained with Eddie Alvarez in Massachusetts. Is that the same
Yes.
Eddie Alvarez, the Underground King?
This is my boxing coach, Eddie Alvarez.
Oh, so you had a fake Eddie Alvarez.
You've seen him. You've probably seen him in the corner of Rob Font in the UFC and stuff. Was Rob Font's boxing coach for years. He's a really, really high-level boxing coach for people in the Northeast and New England area. So he's more of a boxing coach, specifically boxing coach. So that's Rob scooped him up years back, and he came into my gym over at Sit Yo Tong, where I met him. And, we started working together. He started working with Rob and got Rob's. When you started seeing Rob knocking people out left and right, a lot of that came through Eddie. So, he was the guy that kind of, molded that. And so I've been working with him for the past couple years. And he moved right down the street from where I live. So, if I can't make it, to one training session, no matter what, I can make it to his gym because he's down the street. So I'm here 2 or 3 times a day sometimes. And I still hit up my other gyms, you know what I mean? So it worked out really, really good.
Well, it definitely paid off. Now, you're a Boston boy, but I don't know if I believe that. I don't know how much Boston you have in you, especially compared to me, because, you know what I'm saying? I'm Roxbury to the core. So we're gonna play a little trivia. We're gonna play a little trivia. I'm gonna give you a word or a phrase, and in my colloquial Boston accent, You're going to repeat it, and then you're going to tell me what it means. And we're going to find out if you a fraud. All right? You ready for this, Rico? Okay.
Yeah.
Wicked pisser.
Wicked pisser. What do you mean? Wicked good.
That means it means good?
It can be either or. It can be wicked piss is definitely good.
Okay. All right. How about? Oh, they're giving you the point for that. Okay. Southie.
What about Southie? I'm a North Shore guy, so Southie.
Wait till I tell Peter Welch.
Shit.
How about this one? Ripper. Ripper.
Ripper, party. That's a party. I threw plenty of rippers in my day.
I'm going to the Ripper. All right, how about this one? You're chowder head. You are a chowder head.
Chowder, New England clam chowder, the best. That's definitely a big thing in the North Shore for sure.
But
you got,
but chowder head.
What's up?
Chowder head. No?
Yeah, chowder.
Yeah, chowder head. Oh, you are a fraud, Rico. You're from Amherst. You're not even from Boston. You're from Amherst. Okay, how about I got some more.
Maybe you got it.
Scorcher. Scorcher.
Oh, it's a wicked scorcher. Yeah, it's hot out, man.
All right.
It's a scorcher today.
Drink some tonic. Drink some tonic.
Some tonic? Yes. Tonic's tonic. Soda.
Okay, all right. Give him the point. Green Monster.
Oh, the Green Monster. I was there the other day. That's Fenway Park, baby. Everybody knows about that.
Fenway Park?
Give me some.
All right. Harbor.
The harbor is a harbor. What do you mean?
What's a harbor?
It's a harbor?
Okay, okay, you're right. You got it. Okay, one more. Now, this one is for the kill. If you get this one, I will make you an honorary boss tonight. Bang-a-Larry.
A what?
Bang-a-Larry.
A Bang-a-Larry?
Bang-a-Larry.
Like a Larry? We call Larrys like heads, you know what I mean? Like clowns, you know what I mean? I don't know what you're saying. Bang-a-Larry? Is that a bar or something?
Oh! Go back to Amherst. Go back to Providence. All right, Rico, you know I'm just messing with you. We know you're the man, Rico. Congratulations on your victory, man. I can't wait to see the rest of the season. Thank you for coming on the show, man. I look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate you guys.
Now, if I was Rico, I'd still be on cloud 9. Dude served up an unexpected second-round finish that made episode 8 the best one yet. So let's check out the move of the fight. And a doozy this was. After taking a beating for the whole first round, and things weren't looking good for him, Rico DeShula pulls this out of his back pocket, an overhand right, and then a dual chop. That was straight out of Pokemon. Bang! Right behind the ear. Not even a big punch, but enough. It was at a good spot to really put him out. And I'm going to show you how he set that up. So the whole fight he spent on his back. So he knew he had to get lower, so he couldn't allow Hunter to get under him. So as you saw, his stance was lower like this. And then that whole round, he was throwing this uppercut. So now putting the attention going up here. He even threw a leg kick. That got some attention down here. So as the attention was down here, Hunter steps forward and boom, he catches him right behind the ear. Going from the distraction down here to the punch up here, knocking him out. And then he hit him with the double chop. Ah! And that's how it works, guys. Well, Rico will be heading to the semifinals, and over the 31 seasons of The Ultimate Fighter, not much has changed when it comes to picking the semifinal matchups. Dana is still meeting with each fighter individual to pick their brains out about who they think is the easiest and the toughest fights will be for them, which reminds me of when Dana interviewed me and the other welterweights in the semis on season 4. Oh, no.
So we thought we'd get together with you and ask you if you could fight anybody in the semifinals. Who would it be? Who do you want to fight?
Chris.
Chris Lytle?
Yeah. Ever since I got here, I wanted to fight Chris because I knew he had a good style and we matched up well together. Me and Chris, when we've been training, we've been going at it. So that's the type of fight, and I think it would deprive everybody of a good, exciting fight.
It's very smart.
If I didn't fight that.
Very smart.
I think it's a great match.
That's good stuff.
You should go into selling cars when you get done.
I'm trying to. After I kick your ass. I want to fight the toughest guys to get to the finals.
All right, bring Shoney.
So I come in, cool as a cucumber on an iceberg in the Antarctic, chilling.
So, if you could pick anybody to fight in the semifinals, who would you pick?
I've traveled and I've fought, as you all know, more than anybody here. Honestly. And the reason why I chose this guy, Dean Thomas, is because the other two I've already beat. It doesn't make sense to reconquer lands that you've already conquered. Don't beat the peasants. Beat the king of another land.
Cool. Thank you, Shoney.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your time.
What Shoney doesn't know is that I was lying. I didn't want to fight Chris Lytle. I wanted to fight him because I knew that was the easy money. I was trying to get Shoney Carter for the easy money. So if you still want to run that back, let's run it back. All right, enough about me and my ancient season of TUF. Here's what you didn't see this episode after Michael left Dana's office and met with his team about choosing the semifinal matchups.
Dana just asked me who I thought were like the best lightweight, and I said it was kind of a toss-up between Roe and Austin. That. And then he said, so it was funny because he started out by asking Conor who he thought the easiest fight was for Rico. The easiest fight. He said Timur. So then he asked me who I thought Rico should fight. I said Timur. So I don't know if Conor was playing, either we're wrong about that matchup, or Conor was playing possum to see if he would bait me into not choosing Timur. Because my thought is this: I want these guys to get to the UFC, right? I think Timur has the strength, more strength, and a little bit more. You saw him working on top to be able to do that to Rico, more than maybe Brad. Here's my two things. Cody and Brad might get their heads gotten into by the way Rico's going to come out there and start talking and start acting, and
Listen to me. Conor was 100% playing mind games and saying that Timur was the easiest fight for Rico. But are we surprised? Conor is the king of mind games. This man won a 2-divisional champion. He was a 2-divisional champion by beating guys before the fight even started. Aldo, Alvarez, Poirier the first time, all fell victim to Conor's mind control. Let's not forget Brad Katona is still Conor's guy in real life. He was trying to get that fight for Rico because that puts Conor in a no-lose situation. If Rico wins, Conor's team wins. If Brad wins, Conor's real-life homeboy wins. It was a no-lose situation for Conor. But speaking of no-lose situations, let's talk about my boy Roosevelt Roberts, because he takes 0 L's when it comes to verbal assassinating people this season. But he may have met his match. Here's the best trash talk for episode 8.
Rico Escudero. I love KOs. Who doesn't love KOs? Fucking holding on to each other, you are in here for 2 rounds. Hey. You think close guard top after 2 rounds is a fight over? Hey, there's a lot of unfinished fights here. Listen, there's a lot of unfinished fights here. There's a lot of unfinished fights here. You know what I call yous? Here today, gone tomorrow.
It was up because Conor just started skipping the weight. I mean, we had our little issues. We argued, we bickered, you know what I'm trying to say? I mean, we're men, you know what I mean? We got our chest out.
Team here today, gone tomorrow.
Boy, that Roosevelt Roberts is something else. I got to tell you why my man can talk trash. Because he's from Miami. All them boys from Miami can talk trash with the best of them. Masvidal, all of them talk trash with the best of them. Now, we want to give you a little insight into After TUF. We get a ton of extra footage that never made it to the episode of The Ultimate Fighter. And it's our job to go through it all and find the best, never-before-seen clips to show you. Some is great, some ain't, and some, like this clip, is just random as hell. We got like 3 minutes of Conor just chilling in the gym, doing nothing, But once he notices the cameras were rolling, he did what any normal human being with zillions in the bank would do, and that's pick up the heaviest piece of equipment and show everybody just how swole he is. I mean, look at that man's form. Talk about technique. The bar's 45 pounds of pure steel, and y'all, he's pushing weight. Then, of course, in true Conor McGregor fashion, he comes out of left field requesting the most odd stuff. Don't believe me? Then I'll let him tell you.
Jay, find out the distance in kilometers from here to my house, please, will you? Because I may start cycling it or even running it sometimes as well. I'll probably cycle in and run back or something. Just to get that extra work in.
You know, I wonder if Conor ever did cycle or run back and forth to the gym. Hopefully not. Remember the time Conor was riding a bike and he got hit by that car? What a terrible situation that was. What if we found out that the dude who hit him was the best man at Khabib Nurmagomedov's wedding? It would all make sense. I think I got to put on my journalistic cap and dig into this a little more because I think that's what it was. Time for my favorite part of the show, the memes of the week. I love this part. Oh, it's time to have some fun. All right, here we go. What did I mean? 6 a.m. alarm clock, me. Don't try to hit that snooze button or them double chops is coming down even harder. But this is an accurate depiction. All right, when somebody step on your new Jordans, now you know if you got new Jordans, somebody step on them, that's fighting words for me. Woo! Summoning Captain Planet, Earth, Wind, Fire. But they didn't get Captain Planet, they got a drunk Conor McGregor. Woo! When you fought on a plane, you act like it wasn't you. Who did that? Knowing it was you, nasty self. This is what Dana be thinking about in fights. I talked to him about this. How John Jones, a heavyweight, still got them skinny ass legs? I don't know. I ain't never gonna snitch. I ain't talking to nobody. Judge be like, I gave you 30 days. He did it. Damn, that was quick. 30 days, that's it, man? 30 days? Come on, man. Come on now. And it was at that moment, this is our honorable mention. It was that moment where I knew I bleeped up. I ain't never saw nobody run like that in a fight. If sprints were never more important in your training, she proved it. Sprints are important in your training. Those were the memes of the week. We are in the home stretch of season 31 of The Ultimate Fighter. And with the semifinals upon us, ain't no telling what can unfold in episode 9. Here's a look at what to expect.
On the next episode of The Ultimate Fighter, the fighters return to the TUF house where the semifinal matchups are revealed.
Hey, what is the Team McGregor thing, though? That doesn't mean they gotta go to Team McGregor, does it?
And controversy arises over possible team switches.
Jason said he'll go home if he switches.
Then, teammates collide in the first lightweight semifinal as UFC veterans Austin Hubbard and Roosevelt Roberts take center stage.
Austin, my boy, I'm coming for you, bro.
With the first spot in the finale on the line.
I'm here to win this show, get back to the UFC, give my family a better life.
One step closer to becoming the next Ultimate Fighter.
You saw it. Next week we have a banger in store. Two OGs from Team Chandler will put their friendship aside and face off at the Apex in the first semifinal matchup of the season. Make sure you check it out. Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Plus. Then stick around for After TUF because former UFC lightweight champ and TUF Season 19 coach Frankie the Answer Edgar is with us next week to break down episode 9 on ESPN Plus, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. This was by far my favorite episode of the season. After so many weeks of misfortune for Team McGregor, it was fun watching Conor parade around and celebrate his little win. I ain't seen an Irish dude be that lit since the movie Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Enrico DeShola, take a bow, sir. Props to you for never quitting on yourself or on your team when things weren't looking good, because, dog, you was getting your ass whooped. But you made Boston proud. That was the greatest comeback in Boston sports history since the 2004 Red Sox came back to beat the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. Okay, I'm bugging. But Hunter Asher, there's no such thing as a sure thing. Just when things are starting to look like a lock, boom! You done got your lights turned off like you was late on your electric bill. In this game, you can't lose focus for 1 second, because don't nobody owe you nothing. Nobody deserves to win. You think you deserve to win because you work hard? Everybody works hard. You gotta show up and perform every single time. Because if you don't, you can never be on top, like the heavy cheerleader in the pyramid. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm Dean Thomas, and I'm not here to give you a problem. I'm just here to give you some tough love.